Welcome back, Looplers. We're doing the daily for today. Right now, the highest scores are in the 700,000s, it seems. So we're aiming for at least a couple 100,000. Really depends on what we get. I did take a look at some of the daily rounds, so I do kind of know what's coming up. I did cheat a little bit. But I haven't finished a run yet. So here I go for the rocket start, just because of the extra 15 gold for later, and it's better than the other two options, because it's more immediate value. And then just speeding up this part. I think I do like the sped up looped parts. I don't think anyone really enjoys watching the car just go in circles for minutes. I grabbed the ghost gates, the boost gates here, because we'll need them for later. They're a big source of boost. And then the boost cells, the boost gates give way more boost. That's also why I split them up. Split up, they give 10 each, whereas if I had just stacked them, they would be giving 15 total instead of 20 total. Gonna pin that charmed wheels because it's too expensive for my taste right now, and I do want to re-roll, see what we get. And we do get an unidentified flask, as well as the flag and the loopy wheels, all three of which are really good for getting out of the shop. Since they're one-time purchases. So I do like to try to get one-time purchases out of the shop or pinned so I can get rid of them as fast as possible so they don't keep reappearing and taking the spot of other items. Obviously, I went for the card pack I went for the fuel pack route. Fuel pack. Classic. Everyone loves the fuel pack. And then no option here but to go for the gate round. I went this bottom route because it had the skull round with a shop that had a fuel pack. So just ticked off all three boxes. And the start wasn't that bad with a boost pack at the start. So also grabbed the... forget what it's called, but the drift boost card. Just to get some extra starting boost. But I do get rid of it at some point. This is my first time actually voiceovering after I've done the run. Let me know how this works or how this goes. I think I'm going to start doing it this way just so it doesn't mess with any audio, and then also I can, describe my run a little better, knowing the future. Here I turn up the audio for the game volume. That's fantastic. I don't know why I decided to do that in the middle of the run. It kind of screwed with the audio, the whole thing that I'm trying to fix with the voiceover thing. It's fine. Louder up will love it, so... more music. Anyways, more shop. We got identified flask, which is awesome because of the card we're about to get here, which I do know is coming. Fortunately, past me did know. He did get this far. And then we just buy all the one-time items. Golden wheels obviously is an always buy. Just because of the free boost, also the fact that we picked up one of the greatest cards for generating infinite gold alongside the flask that enables it. And we're just buying everything at this point. I think here I start rolling for car parts in a bit. Just because of how much, just because I want to save durability for the rest of the run. And then I also think I get rid of Drift Frenzy at some point. The gates are doing so much work, and the Drift Frenzy is just stealing the flask from the refill card. Although I think you do want some stuff that steals from the refill card so you don't lose too much refill efficiency. So that might have been a mistake on my part when I sold that later. But it didn't impact the run negatively, so I think it worked fine. I skip here because I don't have the card space to buy and sell, and also I need the durability. And then I know for a fact that 30% triggers on this, so I take it. And then I think it's here, actually, where I spun through the garage. Yep, there we go. We basically got awesome car parts right off the bat. We got both the best fuel ones. I don't like plus fuel as much. And then we also got minus 30% on the fuel consumption, which is the max amount. So that was amazing. Yep, I like fuel consumption and refuel efficiency. It makes it so you just lose less fuel, and then when you do refuel, you have more fuel efficiency, so your car just lasts longer. And then we do get boost cap on this, as well as the drift. Oh, that comes later. Spoilers. Again, free upgrade for fuel card. It's awesome. And then obviously we go shop route because we're gonna get like 4,000 more gold. So why not? I roll that into a 149% boost cap, which is almost maxed. I'll take it. And then I get the boost decay slower modifier. Great for like round 12, especially when you don't have Turbo Fang. It's good to max it out early to get some extra loops in the previous rounds. With Turbo Fang, since your boost decay is slower, it doesn't let you gain as much boost, so your Turbo Fang level's slower. So you want to get that later. But because Turbo Fang doesn't exist in this daily, it doesn't matter. And then we do get 2 boost decay slower, and that just makes it so your car goes super, like, not super long, but a little longer at the end when all your fuel runs out and the round ends, as you'll see here. And then we got the beautiful drift lines, which Meep definitely fixed. I'm looking at you, Meep. There's the remaining 5% fuel. And then I'm just upgrading 1 boost gate at this point. There's no point in splitting it. It's the same whether I upgrade 1 or upgrade a lot. So I just like to upgrade 1 for the satisfaction of maxing it out. And we don't want to reroll too much in this shop, although I do think I can't because I do run out of money. But because this is the end of round shop for round 8, you just got to remember that round 9 has a starting shop. I forget sometimes. I've had to restart runs because of it, but I do remember here. I did grab the overload gate. I wanted to try and run a strategy. That's what I spent my first run doing, was this, and then it did not work out, so I ran the second round. And this is my second attempt at the daily, technically, but I don't have a complete attempt. And so, overload gate, and then this shop has a card in the pack that gives me freeze. Frozen drift. So my strategy here was, this is after knowing that the overload gate doesn't work when, so overload gate, the way it works is it subtracts the minus fuel. I talked about this in my last video. But it doesn't work when your fuel is frozen, which I didn't know. However, it still helps get your car like really fast, really quickly at the start of the round, so you get like a good basis for building boost later. And I think the main differentiator between my final score and the later and like the higher scores might be either my hardware is being capped or they kept the overload gate. Not entirely sure why my score is so much lower, but I think this might be one of the factors as to why. I do swap the gate around a little bit to see if I can get some frozen stacked up, so that way I don't lose, because as you can see, my refueling 0, my fuel 0. It does work out for me. Here I goof. You cannot take any of the upgraded levels for this one. You just have to take the 100% one. Everything else fails. It kind of sucks, but you know, it happens. And then we just get another quick round. It does make the rounds go by really fast when you have an overload gate, because I think a lot of the time spent is ramping up the early boost, and the overload gate speeds that up pretty nicely. But I do get rid of it immediately, because I don't like the vibe. Yeah, I have no reason for why I got rid of that. If I do this again, I'm not going to get rid of it and see what happens, but I think it would be better that way. In this shop, again, just looking for the usual suspects, just any number of charms, because I have charmed wheels, and then skulls, you know, boost cells, keep an eye out for those. And upgrading the boost gates. And also trying not to spend too much of my gold, because I do want to keep a good basis as my top speed. My loopy wheel is also doing a lot of heavy lifting in that regard, so it's not like the gold is the only source, but it's good to have both. A healthy balance, so that way you're not relying too much on just one. And like, I don't really think one reroll was gonna make a difference in the run there. But yeah, like my gold is double my loops right now, so it's good to keep it high. So it's round 11. I just take a look at my car parts, make sure everything's good. Don't really need to upgrade chassis or get the other wheels upgrade. And we end this round with around 250k gold, just under. I do grab this gold rush, so we can get more gold during the round on this final round. And then this is our final shop. forget what's in this card pack actually. Oh yeah, I think I grabbed the Reckless here for extra boost because I don't have any boost gain or anything. Man, he's really taking his time. I gotta talk to him about that. Anyways, the usual, we're just going through the shop. Nothing too crazy. Let me know if I should speed up the shop segments. I feel like they're a little helpful. But I think for runs like this, it just becomes a buy everything you see that's not a poker chip or pacifier. I don't know. Let me know. I'm trying to make watching these runs a little more entertaining, and so trying to speed up some of the loopy bits so they look more cool because they're all really fast. And I'm trying to get rid of a lot of the dead space, which I think the shops also contain a bunch. But also what I buy in the shops is kind of pivotal if you're trying to recreate the run. So I'm kind of, I don't know. I did not speed up this final round because I thought it'd be cool to just watch it at normal speed. My computer only has 16 gigabytes of RAM. It is a laptop. So my FPS drops like crazy and my computer cannot do the math anymore, which means that I cannot get to a lot of the higher scores on some of the maps. I am fairly hardware capped. It is kind of sad. But we get a solid 487K, around 200, like 40K, I think, less than the highest scores. But we did it, 14 minutes. Fairly fun daily, especially after the last couple that have been insane in terms of difficulty. Anyways, here's our placement. We got 5th, and I will see you guys next time.